Well, hey there. Good morning, Brickheads. Happy Wednesday to you. It's Wednesday, so it's one of my favorite days. That means it's a wild card Wednesday where I am going to come and talk to you about a Lego subject that I think you're all going to hopefully find useful. At least maybe find some pieces of it useful. But before I get into that, I do just want to say a quick thank you. Again, whether you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you're a visual person and you just like the images that you see on YouTube, I just appreciate you listening. To my podcast listeners specifically, special shout out going down there in Australia. South Wales, man, just representing 100%. The Netherlands. There's a listener or two in the Netherlands that is enjoying the podcast, and I just want to say I appreciate you for listening in. And then here in the old States, Iowa. Someone in Iowa and someone in Pennsylvania has definitely found me, and I just want to say I see you out there. Well, that sounds creepy, doesn't it? I hear you tuning in. But I just want to say thank you. I love it. I love seeing when you can tell someone has discovered what you're doing, and the repeated coming back to and listening to more lets me know that you're enjoying what you hear. So just thank you for that. And if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for the comments. I just always appreciate that as well. That interaction, I think, is just so important. If you leave me a comment on YouTube, I'll get back to you 100%. I will, without a doubt. So anyway, without further ado, here's the goal today. The goal is to raise your Lego IQ. You know, the question in the circles that I run in, one of the questions I get asked most is basically, Steve, why or how do you know so much about Lego? You know the history, you know the sets, you know what's coming out. You tend to know how much a set is worth. You know around when it's retiring or what its valuation is, or if I have a question about this, you've always got the answer. And how, why, how do you get all that? And well, first, I think it's well documented by now that I am a giant nerd. So I got that going for me. But two, there are some very good sites that I use all the time that help build my knowledge. And that is the goal today. I am choosing 5 sites, okay, each with its own strength that I believe can help you improve your Lego knowledge, level up that Lego knowledge, okay? And I will tell you in advance, I am not affiliated. I am not associated. I have 0 partnerships with any of these sites. These are strictly things that I use that I think are excellent tools that anybody who is an AFOL, anybody who's just into Lego, who wants to know more about Lego, who wants to get into Lego, who wants to level up their knowledge, should be using. Because why wouldn't you use a tool that's out there, right? So like I said, we're going to do 5 main sites today, each with their own. And I will say this, if there is a site that I do not highlight here, feel free. Leave that in the comments. Let me know. What is that site that I missed? What is it used for? Why do you love that site? Because let's be real, there are definitely more than just 5 sites out here. These are just the 5 that I think that are really good. The other caveat, this first site, for example, we're going to talk about Lego investing. There are a lot of Lego investing sites, but this is the site that I think is great, especially if you don't know too much about Lego. And that's Brick Economy. Okay, brickeconomy.com is an incredible site for Lego investors. It is free. That's the other part about these. These are all free sites. These are not pay to play. But if you want to stay up and analyze sets and market trends, this is where you should go for sure. Because any investor, no matter what they're investing in, will tell you, do not invest unless you have the knowledge in that thing that you are investing in that trend, in that market trend. And Lego functions just like anything else, okay? It wanes and and we get bull and bear markets in Lego too. There are sound investments, there are poor investments. Well, how do you know all that? Well, this is a good place to start, and you can track all of the sets that you want, okay? And not only that, you can track your personal collection. That's the other cool part about this, is that we'll let you log and catalog your entire collection, okay? So not only could you track any set, but you can see the month-by-month data that shows the growth or the decline in what your set is doing. And it takes these numbers based off like eBay sold listings, Amazon sold listings, and that's important because we don't care what things are listed for, right? I don't care if someone thinks their set's worth $1 billion. We care about sold listings, right? We care about how much someone is actually willing to pay for this, because that is good data. That is the data you want to use to be able to make your own purchases or your own selling. What is your turnaround? Because, you don't want to lose money in this. And Lego is a place where you can gain good money if you're smart, and you can also lose a lot of money because there's a lot of expensive sets out there that people think they're going to get rich on, and they're just not good turnarounds, And just like with anything else, these are long-term investments, right? And I will say this caveat. My primary focus in Lego has never been investing, but I dabble enough in it where I've got 15 years of experience in both buying and selling and doing really well and also doing really poorly. So I by no means would consider myself an expert in this area. I would call myself that middle of the road, that intermediate investor. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm not top tier, right? But I will tell you, I know enough to be dangerous because I use a site like brickeconomy.com. So that is the first one. Again, there are other investing sites out there, but that's the one I'm going to choose for that. Let's say, though, you don't care about investing, right? And not a lot. There's a lot of people out there that really don't. A lot of people out there, they want to buy the Lego to build the Lego. And even more than just build their own sets, they want to build their own unique creations, right? Their own MOCs. There is a whole group of AFOL out there and beyond where, sets are great and they like displaying sets. But what really drives their passion is making their own unique creation. And that is probably one of the most beautiful things about Legos. The sky's the limit. You are only limited to your imagination. And to help you with your imagination, I highly recommend rebrickable.com. Okay? Rebrickable.com. Rebrickable is such a great site. And if you are wanting to make your own creation or take an existing set and maybe seeing what alternate builds you could do, because that's another big popular thing, right? You love your Harry Potter castle, but there are people that are turning that Harry Potter castle into a unique castle build, and they will post those alt builds on Rebrickable. Now, I will say in Rebrickable to buy plans, that does cost money, but it's totally free to look at all of those things, see what you're interested in. I most recently built a Star Trek Enterprise based on the Horizons West long neck set. I found that at Rebrickable. I just thought it was cool. This Darth Maul sitting next to me, if you are watching the YouTube page, I have the 2001 Darth Maul bust. He is very imposing, very creepy. I love him to death. And I will tell you, this isn't an original 2001 Darth Maul bust. Sure looks like it, but all it is a Rebrickable set. Meaning, here's what I did. This set is 95% just red and black brick. Nothing special about it, let's be real. But if I wanted to buy this new in box, okay, first off, it's a 24-year-old set. Secondly, they are hard to come by. And when they do, you're going to probably spend more like $1,500 to $2,000 to buy this bad boy new in box. No one is buying this set new in box to build it. If anybody's buying this new in set to actually own, it's usually to resell. And here's the deal. I didn't want it new in box. I just wanted the set, right? I just wanted to build it. And what I did is I went to rebrickable.com, went to the Darth Maul set. They have a whole part list with this. And I ported my part list out to Bricklink, and I just made some Bricklink orders. Very smooth, very easy. And I think the total cost at the time I did it, which was about 5 years ago now, was about $250. Actually, about $225. So not much more than what it originally retailed for back in 2001, which is just crazy to me. Now, I will say a little caveat, little asterisk to this. If you're watching on YouTube, I will show you there are 3 pieces to my Darth Maul that are not unique. 2 of which are holding up the bust itself. There are giant, the round 1x1. You see them in like the Apollo, the Saturn V missile, those big round half pieces. Well, on Darth Maul, the base of his bust, these 2 big half pieces, are done in black originally, and that's only found on this set. Those pieces, if you can find them, are very expensive. You're talking like $50 for a single Lego piece, which I think is stupid and no one should spend that. But the cool part about something like Rebrickable is you're like, oh, what are my other options? Oh, I could do clear, which is what I did. And clear, that sells for like $3. Done. And then the other piece, and this was a normal 1x2 brick that was released with bigger sets back in the day. On the back of Darth Maul, there's a 1x2 brick that had a printed, it just said Lego on it. And you can find this on the old school Yoda. You can find this on a lot of old school sets. But that piece, again, hard to come by, very expensive. All I did is just replace it with a red brick just to symbolize it. I just think that's cool. And it's on the back of Darth Maul, so you don't see it in the first place. So anybody who comes over here and sees Darth Maul sees a set that's 99.9% completely original style of pieces, and it's the set. It's awesome. And it didn't cost me $2,000 to build. You know, it cost me 1/10 of that. So Rebrickable, it is what I use when I want to make a set that is out of reach. Now, you got to be careful with that, because I like rebricking sets that are consistency pieces. Like the Eiffel Tower is a great one. A lot of the similar pieces. Trying to rebrickable sets that have a lot of unique pieces are always tougher. But again, you can catalog whatever kind of pieces you want, and you can design what kind of set you want to build on Rebrickable itself. And you can port those over. You can import and export to places like Bricklink, where you can then just buy your sets or buy your pieces in bulk. So Rebrickable, fantastic. Again, look at it for MOCs, look at it for alt builds, and it plays well with other Lego sites. So if you're interested in anything personalization, Rebrickable, I would say, would be the first place I would go. Okay, moving on, and I've already said this site because I just can't help myself because I use it for everything, but that is, if you want a site for set information and just a general database, to me, there is no better database than brickset.com. Again, brickset.com. I mention them so much, gosh, I feel like I should have a partnership with them, but I use Brickset almost every single day. I log my own personal collection on this site. It also gives me set valuations, so I can still see, just like I can in Brick Economy, what that set is worth, both new and used. And again, I can log everything. It gives me a piece analysis. It gives me a minifigure analysis and breakdown, so I can log both sets and minifigs on this site, and it just does a really, really good job. If the set exists, chances are it's probably on Brickset. There are discrepancies on Brickset versus what you might find on Lego, but usually it's because Brickset is more comprehensive. And like I said, if you just want to know about Lego, you know what I mean? If you have a collection, first off, you should log your collection. You shouldn't just have a collection and not know what you have. Like, that's responsible, because then once you know what you know what you have is worth. And so then you can take that and you can either build upon that, or you just at least have that knowledge. And so everything I do goes through BrickSet, and then I do port those things over to Brick Economy just so I have that additional look, because again, two minds are always better than one. So again, BrickSet you should definitely use just all the time. And with that, that was three sites. And so first site, again, Brick Economy. Second site was Rebrickable. Third was BrickSet. And then the last two, again, this should be common knowledge, but bricklink.com. If you want to buy Lego, there's really two. I always say Bricklink, and really Brick Owl goes with this, but I'm going to use Bricklink because it is the bigger of the two sites. Yes, it's owned by Lego, but again, it is a user-generated site. It's been around for 25 years, y'all. Like 25 years. It was purchased by Lego back in like 2018, but since then it's still remained true to what it is, and that is a place for you to buy sets, to buy minifigures, to buy pieces. And I will tell you, the Lego pad wall, sure. Yeah, you can buy stuff off there. That's fine. Lego.com. You can buy pieces off Lego.com, but I will tell you, in many cases, if you want to save money, which I would imagine all of us want to do nowadays, I tend to use Bricklink more than any other site. And because, too, everything that I do from Rebrickable ports over into, like, I export that entire file into Bricklink, and it goes to the seller store. And this is worldwide, okay? So if you're in the States, like, buying bricks is pretty darn easy. We have it pretty good here in the US. But there are other countries out there that you just don't have as many selections. So, if you want to buy from someone in Thailand, Bricklink is probably the way to go, because shipping and all of those costs in there, that kind of stuff adds up, and it's something that you have to take into account. But it just gives you a wider array. If you are purchasing bricks from different areas, maybe you live in a different area, it's a good resource to use. And again, it's just people like you and me. Like, I could have a Bricklink store tomorrow if I wanted, and I could sell those pieces or sell those sets on Bricklink. And that's the other beauty of it. I tend to find that the set valuations, meaning the cost, what it is to buy that set, tends to be the most realistic on Bricklink versus eBay, or definitely versus Amazon. There's often times where I will go to eBay, and that set that somebody has listed for $500, somehow on Bricklink it's a $350 set. And so if I really want to know what a set is worth, especially something like lately with the Bricklink Designer Series, right, where you don't have as many of those sets on the market, Bricklink, I like to say, it keeps us honest. So definitely one to use. The other part that I like about this, and this is something, it is supported by Lego, which I know there are parts of it that are bad because it's supported by Lego, but because of that, there's a stability factor in there, and you have access to Studio and Part Designer. And if you've never played in Bricklink, the Studio portion and the Part Designer portion, they are no means by perfect. They have some deficiencies to them. But if you've ever wanted to design your own set, like, you don't have the pieces, what you do is you use Bricklink Studio, and you have all the pieces you've ever wanted. Where was that when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s? You built with what you had in front of you in that big old brick pile. Now, the sky's the limit. So if you want to design a set, go to Studio, you can design it. You can design actually a brick piece however you want in the Part Designer set. And then you can go, once you've designed this set, you can, if the pieces are in the catalog, You can order it and you can build it. Saves you time, saves you money. So I love BrickLink. I still think it's great. And plus, I'm loving the designer series still. Fantastic. So I think they're doing a lot of good things on BrickLink. If you don't know about it, you should. Like, how would you listen to my podcast and not know about BrickLink, right? So fine, learn more. And then last but not least, this last one I'm going to give because sometimes you just want to talk to people about bricks, right? This is the site where you go to if you want the forum, meaning sometimes you have a question that is like Reddit worthy, right? And I love Reddit because if you want an answer, 9 times out of 10, you post it on Reddit, right? And someone knows the answer there. And it's usually something that's really just that quirky outside of the norm that you may not be able to just find on the first page of Google. Well, for Lego, the Lego Reddit forum style forum that I like and that I use the most is brickpicker.com. Now, brickpicker.com really originally started as an investment site, and they still bill themselves as an investment site, but they used to do what Brick Economy does now. And so if I really want to know like set valuations or market trends, I'm not using BrickPicker, I'm using Brick Economy. But if I want to talk to people about Lego or just give them my thoughts like, hey, y'all, what do you think about Designer Series 7? Which set do you think is going to go for the most? There's a lot of people that are using BrickPicker, and a lot of them are happy to give you their opinions. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean that their opinion is right, but it gets a nice big community together that is talking about the thing that we know and love, and that's Lego. So it's great for daily deals as well. Many of these sites have the daily deals, but the very first forum page is the daily deals that you can see what is on sale for your 10, your 20, your 30% off. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're investing in Lego, that is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to see what is on sale today, because rule number 1 of buying Lego, we don't buy Lego at full price if we can help it. So, but then questions, anything buying and selling is great. And then just general investing tips on storage, on where to sell, how to sell, when to sell, those type of things. And basically what it is just a giant brain collaboration between people that have been doing this, chances are a lot longer than you have. So there you go. Those are the 5 sets that I love. And again, by no means comprehensive. This is all completely subjective. But also, again, I just think they're great. I'm, again, not sponsored by them, no partnerships. When people say, Steve, how do you know the answer to this? Generally, it was one of these 5 sites that has helped me know that answer and helps me raise my Lego IQ in 2025. So when I come to talk to you about it on this podcast, you can get all the inside scoop. And here's the deal. I don't believe in keeping secret knowledge. My goal in this podcast is to share, is to collaborate, and to educate. And if I can help you get better at that, like if there's a day where you feel like you don't need me anymore, so be it. I just hope that you have as much knowledge as possible and have as much joy as possible in this Lego world as I do. Because, I wish this existed for me back when I started. When I came out of the dark ages, I found BrickPicker, and that was about it. But if things like, BrickLink was around, but I didn't know about it. Brick Economy, never heard of it. Rebrickable, it took me 6 years to even know that site existed because it was hard to collaborate. It was hard to get together with people and figure out what I needed to know to be successful in this Lego world. So anyway, I just really appreciate y'all coming along on this one. I love a good old-fashioned Wildcard Wednesday. Again, please let me know, is there something I missed? But until Monday, when I come back to you, because it's April, We got some April sets going on. Some of you right now are literally buying the bag end set. But as we go on through April, we're going to have a lot of other rumors and releases. And so until Monday, when I come to you with those news and rumors, I will just have to I'll have to catch you on the next one. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
How it's supposed to feel.